Sewer William, CO.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity tonight. If I sound emotional to you tonight, Mr. Speaker, I make no apology about it. In fact, for the past few days, there's been quite a lot of emotion been released by all sides of the House on this matter. And it is a very significant matter in terms of the people that I represent, the communities that I represent, Māngere and of Manukau City. I have been to many funerals of friends and relatives, people that I cherish and are dear to me, sir. And I'm using this as a preface before I get onto the bill. And they've all been very sad occasions. But our debate over the establishment by this government of a super city, without asking Aucklanders about it, has deeply hurt me. And I would say to this House that hurt is a reflection of how the communities throughout Manukau City and also Waitakere feel about the actions of this particular government. In fact, they feel it is an outrage, sir, that they have not been given the opportunity to have a say. It may have been that they would agree to it. And that is the reason why tonight I stand to acknowledge and thank all of my Labour colleagues and the other parties here, Green, and to some extent the Māori Party, for holding this government to account. Because that is what we've asked for, that they give the opportunity to Aucklanders to have a say. Often in this debate we've been accused of, there's been outrage been made by the other side. But the outrage that is felt, that I feel, and I suspect felt by many throughout Auckland, is that the action of this government can be described as criminal in many sense. Because you've had two senior members of the government, Mr. Key, the Honourable Prime Minister, and the Honourable Minister of Local Government, go around to the people and they've held a gun to the head of the mayors, the councillors, and said, click, bang, we've got the numbers. That's why we're doing this. And that is a sign, sir, of sheer arrogance of this government in only 6 months of being in power. So, for those who are listening, Labour has fought tooth and nail to hold this government to account. Labour has fought hard to ensure that the bills that this government is introducing in urgency are examined, because the National and the ACT government's undemocratic plans deserve to be given back to the people. So, we come to the bill, sir. 4 parts and 24 clauses. And I want to also say, the member from Manurewa, George Hawkins, held up an advertisement earlier that has been paid for by parliamentary services, by taxpayers, advertising a series of meetings. Yes, it is an outrage. Series of meetings that are to be held in the next few months by the government in Auckland region. After it's been done, exactly. After the fact. Here it is, sir. Have your say. This is deceptive, sir, because the main decision has already been made. But here's the other concern. There are 8 meetings being held in the area called Auckland City Council currently. 8 meetings. The fear that we have and the concern that we have is these are campaign meetings for John Banks by this government. By this government. And in Manukau and in Waitakere, only 1 meeting, sir. 1 meeting. 1 meeting. For 380,000 people living in Manukau, the 3rd largest city, 1 meeting. And this is, I have to say, is this the signs of things to come as a result of this government, as a result of the super city? I lament the loss of my city, sir. I lament the loss of my city. Of 4 mayors, of the late Hugh Lambie, of the late Sir Lloyd Alsmo, of Sir Barry Curtis, served 24 years, and now Len Brown, the Mayor of Manukau City. I lament the loss of the 3 councillors that we have representing Mangere. I lament the loss of 8 community boards, people locally that live in the area that represent my ward, sir, because with the stroke of Mr. Hyde's pen, those local government exist only in name only. The power, the rights and authorities and privilege have been given to 3 or 4 specifically picked people by that minister, sir. So all gone. The purpose, part 1, the purpose of the bill talks about defining Auckland, sir. Clause 5 talks about the meaning of Auckland. I want to say to this House, that clause does not define clearly what Auckland is about. It's more than just an area, sir. It is about the people that live there. It is about the diversity, the languages that are spoken, our various events that are held regularly in Manukau, for example. Our concern now is what is going to happen to our Polyfest, started at the old school that of Sir Edmund Hillary College. The Polyfest. Polyfest, what is going to happen to that? What is going to happen to our Asian and ethnic events that are currently being held in Manukau, funded by that organisation? Because the Nutrition Agency now has control of all that, because they have the same powers as if there was a super city. And that is a deep concern. I would say to this government, if they have any sincerity, which I have yet to see, about consultation, they will take this stage, select committee, back into Auckland. Take it to Auckland. Take it to all the 7 different sectors of that city. Part 2, sir, talks about the mayor and gives it its executive powers. There is grave concern about the at-large election of this mayor and the substantial powers that are given to the mayor. And the questions that we want to know is how will we be choosing this mayor? Is it going to be first past the post? Will it be STV? Will it be preferential? Will it be preferential? This is the questions that our communities will be asking this government for, because that's a decision that they've got to. The executive powers of this mayor is of deep concern to us, because this mayor is going to appoint his buddies and friends to be deputy mayor and the chairpersons of the committees. Too much power in the hands of one person, sir, is not a good thing, because we know what has happened in other situations. Power corrupts, and we don't think that that is right. I liken the super city as to a canoe that is going to take us to the future, if that be the case. If that be the case, then all people need to be on board and everyone needs to be paddling in the same direction. But alas, it's only going to be 20 people on this council. 8 are going to be elected at large, and only the rich and wealthy are going to be able to stand for those positions. What about ordinary workers and families in our community? What about Māori? Māori Party have says that we've betrayed Labour. That's an outrage. We're the ones that have been demanding to hold this government to account to ensure that there are Māori seats on this local council, Pacific seats, and representation by the Asian ethnic groups. The local boards, what about their powers? We can't simply go cap in hand as local boards to the council and ask for the resources and the things that we need for our local governments, for our local community. It's not just about dogs and prostitutes and gambling, although some members of this on the other side of the house might enjoy that. It's not just about that. Finally, I want to say to this, there are 3 things that I'm going to ask this government. If they are sincere, they need to give the people of Auckland time to be able to consult on these bills. They need to. They need to give them time to be able to develop quality submissions. Not everyone is familiar with the select committee process, and I don't want to see this government go out there and only select their friends, their business, elite people to come and debate this. We need to be able to allow every single member of those communities of ours in their own languages if need be.